like to show you the Pampered Chef cooking blender. If you've been looking at a Vitamix blender, you might have noticed that the price point is double what this one is worth. This one will do cold and hot foods, and I like all of the features that come with it. So, nice, you can hear the lid, it's secured. So now I've taken the lid off, that little boop 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 beep will let you know that the lid was gone. It even tells you down here, lid, it's kind of cool. You can use this manually, or you can use any of the features it comes with, including the self-wash, which is what I'm going to show you right now because I made soup in this earlier. So let me get some water in here and we'll run a wash cycle. So the pitcher takes 3 cups of water. It's really easy to see the 3-cup line through the pitcher if you're filling it while holding it with your left, like I usually do, even though I'm right-handed. 3 cups of water, 1 drop of soap, and then we're just going to gently place it back down so it can seat properly on the blender base. The lid, if you start it slightly askew, then it's much easier to just lock it in. Now we know it's locked. We're going to rotate this toggle bar until it hits heated wash, and then I'm going to press go. It's going to be really noisy, it'll last about a minute, and it'll get up to 140 degrees. 140 is where we need to be to kill any bacteria that are in the pitcher. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's what I'm about right there. So you can see that as the blender is heating up, it'll display and read out the temperature right down here, as well as some rotating digits. So I'll let you know that the blender is still working. You can actually hear it heating up, and the glass pitcher will become quite warm, especially if you're cooking soup. So that's why they've added this extra plastic bar in here to protect your hands when you're lifting the pitcher off of the base. So make sure that you're using the handle. You don't want to burn your knuckles, it hurts a lot. These, like, oh my god, smoothie bowls. Peanut butter. Soups. Butternut squash soup. So this recipe was actually phenomenal. I recommend taking the leek out of it and just using a little bit of green onion. I'm not a big fan of the sharp taste that it gives the soup, but the recipe I used was 3 cups of vegetable stock. I've done it with butternut squash, and I've done it with spaghetti squash. The soup turned out phenomenal. So a little bit of salt, green onion, white onion, garlic, cubes of the squash or the sweet potato, and let it do its thing. Came out perfect consistency. Broccoli cheddar soup. So I made the broccoli cheddar soup before too. I recommend not putting the broccoli in at the beginning. So the broccoli only takes a few moments. There we Perfect, little pauses in between. So after the minute it took to heat up, it took about 2 minutes to do the wash. Not bad at all. It will continue to beep at you if you don't turn it off. So I'm going to turn it off so we can continue talking about soup. So the broccoli cheddar soup that I made, I really recommend putting the broccoli in closer to the end. It only takes 3 to 4 minutes for the broccoli to steam and cook. If you wait longer, I find the broccoli tends to mush, and I am all about the little details when we're cooking. So those are the things that make the meal extraordinary versus the basic that you get when you kind of go out and you end up having to pay for it and it's not all that great. Make it at home. It's easy, tastes better, and it's not overcooked or has inappropriate flavor profiles. Now I'm just going to dump this and wipe it out, and it's all clean and good to go. So when I'm cleaning my out, because you can't submerge the base and you can't submerge the lid, what I like to do is tip it upside down and use my hose to spray inside it. If you don't have a hose, that's fine. I would just take a clean, damp or dry cloth and give it a good wipe to take out any residue that may be built up around the lid area, because the lid does create a really good seal. So you want to make sure that you just hand wipe that area. But I mean, come on, if that's the only thing you gotta clean. Awesome. So let's pop this back on here. And I can feel that this is warm now, but not hot enough to hurt me in any way. Perfect. Now I'm gonna put my blender away. It lives over here. So the mesh straining bag that I was using when I was using the rock crock to make the apple cider actually comes with the blender, but you can order extra of them if you feel you need an extra one. I do, because sometimes I like to make more than one thing at once, which is why I also got the Dutch oven size rock crock. Then I can have 2 meals on the go or 2 things on the go, dinner and dessert, which was really easy to do. We actually had baked gnocchi the other night, and I had my kids make the cake in the rock crock and use the microwave to cook it, and it turned out fabulous, and they were very thrilled to be able to help. So the guide is really cool. The other thing that comes with it that I thought was awesome was the little pea proteins, as well as the kale and fiber. So if you're like me and you're getting a little bit more woke about agriculture and environmentally friendly or sustainable eating, then you might be interested in the kale fiber or the pea protein to throw into your smoothies or your family's meals, and that might help boost some of the fiber intake and protein intake for yourselves. They're nice and light and easy to hide in any meal. A good way to get the husband and the kids to eat their veggies. Right over here is where my blender lives. See, it's beautiful in window where everyone can see. I can see out, I can make blended beverages, perfect.